was already an adult when my grandmother passed away, and her death came as a complete shock to me. It took me a long time to recover. I cried a lot and had nightmares. One night, I had a dream. I was sitting on the bed in my childhood room when suddenly my grandmother came in, and with her were two dark figures resembling the silhouettes of human shadows. I rushed to hug my grandmother, told her how much I missed her, and asked who had come with her. My grandmother replied that they were escorts. They had brought her. Meanwhile, the two shadows stood aside, watching us. Our embrace lasted only a few seconds before my grandmother told me that she would not come again and that it was time for her to leave. I walked her to the hallway and opened the front door, and beyond it, she left in the form of a white cat. I don't remember whether I closed that door or if the dark guests left. I only remember waking up in tears, which must have come even in my sleep. About a year later, I became very ill with the flu. In a feverish delirium, I saw them again. The two figures came close to me and started whispering something in my ear. I don't remember what exactly, but I remember strongly disliking their intrusive words and feeling like there was nowhere to hide from them. After that, they began appearing to me more often and taking on new forms each time. The only thing that remained the same was that there were always two of them, and I always knew it was them. In one of my dreams, I was walking down a dirt country road. Out of the fog appeared the two of them. They started calling me to come with them, and I replied that I didn't want to go yet, and that it was still too early for me to leave. Several years later, another chronic illness of mine flared up. I became very sick and slept a lot. The two began coming to me much more often. Now they no longer just watched or persuaded me. It was as if they were hunting me. They chased me, broke down doors, grabbed me by the hands. I woke up terrified, my heart pounding wildly. Meanwhile, my health continued to deteriorate rapidly. Conventional treatment didn't help, and doctors were at a loss. Somehow, my mother found a shaman who lived in another city and promised to help restore my health. Looking at me, he immediately said that I was under a curse. I told him everything that was happening to me. Without much hesitation, he wrote a spell on a piece of paper that I had to recite 9 times for 9 days, standing in front of a mirror at sunset. Of course, I began performing the ritual, and I even started to feel a little better day by day. But on the 7th day, there was a severe flare-up. I woke up in a cold sweat in the middle of the night from fear, pain, and my own screaming. I had been dreaming that I was standing before that very mirror where I'd been reciting the spell, and behind me stood those two figures. One of them was grinning with a wide, toothy smile, and the other said to me, "So, we understand you and Boris Alexandrovich are doing magic here. Have you completely lost your mind?" They grabbed me and shoved me into the mirror. It was dark and cramped in there, and I could see the room from the other side of the mirror's veil. I couldn't move. I could only scream, "Mom, help me! Mom, help me!" I woke up because I was screaming this at the top of my lungs. My worried mother, awakened, came and sat at the edge of my bed. I began telling her about my dream, seeing how she grew more and more frightened with every word. At the end, she started crying and told me about her own dream from the night before, that she saw me as a little girl crying out, "Mom, help me," from inside a mirror. That's when I truly felt unnerved. We couldn't sleep for the rest of the night, I because of pain and my mother because of worry, so we just watched late-night TV shows together. We returned to our city. My illness subsided, but still didn't go away completely, and the two continued to appear periodically in my dreams, trying to catch me with clearly malicious intentions. One day, I stumbled upon a powerful ritual to remove a curse on the internet. It required buying a new towel, a bar of soap, and a church candle, gathering wormwood in a field, and bathing with it while reciting an incantation. A mandatory condition was that the cleansing had to take place after midnight while the candle was burning, and only in an empty house alone. I did everything exactly as instructed and burned the remaining soap, towel, and candle stub by a busy road the next day. After that, the dark figures stopped visiting me